only 2 diamonds is quite a problem. If partners has 4 diamonds and bids 2 diamonds, we're going to be in quite a pickle. We may end up playing in a 4-2 fit. If partner's got 5 diamonds, they may even bid over top of the opponents 2-3 diamonds. Playing in a 5-2 fit at the 3 level may not go very well there. So even though we've got an opening hand, we want to pass. So the opponents have bid a 2/1, which for them is game forcing. So they've got some diamonds and they're forcing to game. And their 2 hearts does not actually promise 6. Some people play it does, but here it does not. And 2 hearts doesn't necessarily show a minimum hand either. There are many different hand types in 2 hearts. Now West has bid 3 diamonds, East has bid 3 no trumps, and West has bid 4 spades. This is quite an odd auction here. So okay, I'll pass and then we'll see dummy and then we'll talk about what they could have for this bidding here. Now, what type of hands do you think the opponents will have to bid 2 diamonds, then 3 diamonds, then 4 spades? It's a very strange auction, right? Now, this isn't an auction you're likely to ever see again. I've never seen this auction in my life, right? And if I haven't seen it, then, and I played quite a bit of bridge, you're gonna be hard to come by. But think about what type of hands they logically could have here. Does anyone have any ideas? Why did they bid their diamonds twice before their spades? Why did they bid 4 spades instead of passing 3 no trumps when their partner almost certainly does not have 4 spades? What do we think? So we have an idea, is 4 spades a splinter? Over a no trump bid, you're not going to be making a splinter, especially when it's not a jump. So no. 6-6 in spades and diamonds. It's likely to be a wild hand like that, but with 6-6, they likely would have bid the spades first, or at least bid them second before bidding the diamonds again. They're going to have 6 diamonds, definitely. The 3 diamonds bid, rebidding their suit, they shouldn't be doing that without 6. Now, the 4 spades bid, given it was passed, is going to be a natural bid, right? But how many spades do they have? Do they have 6 diamonds and 5 spades? Well, because there's only a difference of 1, they should probably bid the spades second, bid the diamonds, and then the spades a couple times. So it doesn't look like they're going to have only a difference of 1, 6 diamonds and 5 spades. What I'm thinking is they're almost certain to have 7 diamonds and likely going to have 4 or even 5 spades. So they might be 7-5 or 7-4. Partners led a trump here. We have nothing to do but win the king. Now, if they have 7 diamonds, which we're pretty sure about, how many diamonds does that give partner? 3, that's right. 7, 3, 2, 1. Linear shapes. That's very good. So if partner has 3 diamonds, and West has almost certainly got some pretty good diamonds, right? They're unlikely to need to ruff more than once. And what a lot of people may do here is continue spade because they're worried about declare ruffing some diamonds and dummy. But I don't think that ruffing more than once is very likely. And something which I would be somewhat worried about here is West having a void in hearts and 1 or 2 clubs and being able to throw their club or clubs away on the ace of hearts, right? If they have 1 or 2 clubs and a void heart, they can reduce that. So I actually think the only possible tricks we're going to get from this point are the clubs. But hold on, if West has 4 spades, they may also get to run out of trumps, right? So that's also a consideration. If they have 4 spades, which is reasonably likely, because if they have 5 spades, it's a bit weird for them to hide them. They bid their diamonds twice before showing their 5-card major. I think they're likely to have 4 spades and 7 diamonds. And if they do, shortening their trumps would be quite a good idea. Because if they have no more trumps left, they can't get over there to enjoy their diamond tricks. So that's more than one argument for playing the clubs. So we'll play the clubs. And here, if you were playing with a partner who could give you some sort of signal on the clubs, we might get some more information here. And declarer actually roughs immediately. It's quite good to know, right? So they've got 0 clubs, and we'll find out how many of the other suits they have. 0 clubs and probably only 1 heart at this point. Feels like they're 7 diamonds and 5 spades, but we'll see from here. And they trump a diamond and play a club, which they trump again. And yep, they had exactly that, 7 diamonds, 5 spades, and 1 heart. So you can see, like, based on the deduction at the start, we worked out they had as many as 7 diamonds. If their hearts and clubs were the other way around, it would have been absolutely necessary to play that ace of clubs there, or king of clubs, to get the trick. And that can be a difference between quite a poor score and quite a good score at match points, which is what we're playing here. Now here, we have a classic hand, the 4-4-1 hand. What are we thinking of opening on this one? Is it possible to turn the sound effects off? The sound effects, the BBO is muted for me. I believe that is the sound effects coming from the chat. I'm not sure how to turn that off, sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure. So people are saying pass, but here with a 12-point, you cannot pass with 12-point hands, right? Some people with very, very poor 12-point hands, I'm talking no aces, no shortages, completely balanced, will decide to pass, but with 12 points, we're not going to pass. We're playing actually 2/1 here with the robots, but that's basically like standard. We've got a 15-17 no trump and 5-card majors. I'll explain a little bit of those differences when they come up. But regardless of the system, we should be opening a minor suit, and most people play systemically. They open 1 diamond with 4-4-1. Now, this reminds me, some people teach playing ACOL that if you have a singleton spade and not a singleton spade, I mean a singleton club and 4-4-4, that you should open 1 heart. But that's actually, you shouldn't do that. You should just, with the 4-4-1, easy way to remember, always open 1 diamond, unless of course the singletons and diamond, then open 1 club. So we've heard a double from our partner. Now, this double here, what do we think that means? Is that just showing points, 6 to 9? Is that showing spades and clubs? Is that just showing spades? What's it showing here? Does it say they don't have spades? All right, some people here, Andrew, Linda, Chris, all correct, showing spades. And here it shows exactly 4 spades because they could bid spades at the 1 level, right? So therefore, it shows exactly 4 spades. And it isn't limited on points. It could be any number of points. Here, we've got an option of bidding. Do we want to bid or do we want to pass? And if we want to bid, what do we want to do? Chris is enthusiastic. Bid. Patricia, 2 spades. That's good to see. Yeah. So yeah, here we should be definitely supporting spades. I see some support for 3 spades. Now, while 3 spades wouldn't be the worst bid in the world, it is a little bit ambitious for a few reasons here. Reason number 1 is that a singleton is only worth 2 with an 8-card fit, not 3. So you may have heard singleton is worth 3, doubleton's worth 1, and a void's worth 5. But that actually only applies when you have a 9-card fit. When you have an 8-card fit, a doubleton is worth 1, a singleton is worth 2, and a void is worth 3. The value of shortages goes down a lot when you have fewer trumps. And also here, the opponents have overcalled and then shown a strong hand. So we don't have all that many points between us and partner. It's pretty unlikely we make game, even if we were a little bit high, our hand being worth 14. So it is just a 2 spades bid. I'm glad that everyone wants to bid, and I love the enthusiasm for those bidding 3 spades. So we're here in 2 spades, and we get the king of clubs lead, which is reasonably revealing, right? Now, do you know who here remembers what you should do pretty much all the time when you're in a suit contract? What should you count? Yep, losers, losers, losers. Very good. You count your losers in a suit contract. And which hand do you count losers from the perspective of? This is actually a very tough question. Do we count losers from the perspective of the south hand or the north hand? We both have 4 trumps. Normally, we do it from the hand with longer trumps, but here it's equal. What do we choose? Both hands? That's not a bad guess. You can do it from each hand and see which is easier, but you do want to choose a hand to be the master hand. And the way that I recommend choosing that is based on side suit quality, or which side suit are you going to set up and count from that hand. Here, North's hearts, we're not going to set those up, whereas South's clubs and diamonds, we probably are. So counting from South's perspective will be much easier, because if we count from South's perspective, all we need to do is deal with South losers and their side suits will set up. But in order to deal with North's heart losers, we need to either trump them or set up South suits. So we would have to go through the hassle of setting up South suits to then discard North's losers, which is an extra step that can confuse, as opposed to just South's perspective, count losers there. And if we're counting, we have 1 heart loser, and the king of clubs lead, no club losers, 2 diamond losers, and potentially 1 spade loser if they break 4-1. Okay. Now, what do we want to do here? Well, I recommend always drawing trumps unless you see a reason not to. Can we see anything from South's hand that we need to ruff? We don't need to ruff a heart. Clubs are good, so we don't need to ruff those. And we have the Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8 of diamonds. So after we've lost 2 diamonds, they'll all be good anyway. So we don't have any reason to ruff South's losers. So therefore we can draw trumps. And there's nothing we need to discard. Now, something I just recommend for general practice is unblocking the clubs here, throwing the jack under, because we've got the ace 10 9. So this way we can make the clubs flow quicker from both hands. Something I'll just quickly mention here. Which 4-1 breaks can we pick up in the spades? If West has 4 to the jack, we can finesse to the 10. If East has 4 to the jack, they're going to have the 9 or the 8. We cannot finesse. So the only 4-1 break we can pick up is West, and therefore we play the king-queen to find that out. There's the 9 that's looking a little ominous. And it is 4-1. So what I recommend whenever we have a bad break is we reassess. Do we want to just continue drawing trumps, or do we want to change plans? What do you think here? Do we just want to continue drawing trumps, or can you see some potential downsides in doing that? Patricia recommends a change. Chris says we need to set up diamonds first. Patricia says go to clubs. Linda says need to set up diamonds first. Yeah, so setting up diamonds first is a pretty good idea here, because the clubs running, that's not really going to do anything. The clubs are already winners. We don't need to set those up. However, setting up the diamonds before losing those trumps in the south hand that are basically heart stoppers is pretty important. So yeah, we will set up the diamonds. And they've played a club, they may well get a ruff here. If they do, say la vie. And now they may enter the east hand and get another ruff, but maybe not. Now here's the question. Do we want to continue setting up the diamonds, or can we draw the final trump now? Brian likes the 7 of spades. Andrew says draw the trump. Patricia says diamond. Linda says diamond. So we're currently 2 and 2. Let's see. We need a tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker, Anne and Chris, have said diamond. And great, Andrew has changed his mind. So yeah, it is a good idea to play a diamond here, because even though West may get another ruff if East can win, if we play the spade and then play the diamond, they can get a heart trick anyway. So the way I think of it is we would be neutral even in the bad case. So the bad case is East wins the diamond and gives West a ruff, and they make their trump. And then we lose 2 tricks from here. And what about if we play a spade? if we play a spade and then lose a diamond, we know we're going to lose at least one more heart. Probably only one more heart, but yeah. And that is 2 tricks lost. So that's the only case for doing that. Whereas the worst case for playing a diamond is only as bad as the normal case for playing a spade. So we should play a diamond. And I'm playing the jack here because West may duck with the ace here, thinking East could have the queen. And East has the ace and gives a ruff. And now we've got the rest. So we only made 8. But that is a good example of changing your plan from drawing trumps when you find out about a bad split. Here, we've got a pretty interesting hand, right? We have 18 points, 4, 2, 5, 2. What do we want to open? We always want to open 1 diamond here. We never want to do anything like 1 or 2 no trumps. With 18 points, that's a solid 1 diamond. Partner's bid a heart. Now we have a choice. Now I want to hear from you what you would like to do here. And while you're thinking of that, I'll just see what... Oh, we can't see other tables for this one. But yeah, first board was poor. Maybe because some people bid differently. It's hard to imagine getting any more tricks here, right? After the spade lead, if we see the double dummy, it's always the same number of tricks. Anyway, so I'll see what everyone says. We have 1 spade, 2 no trumps, 2 diamonds, 1 spade, 1 spade, 1 spade. And Chris votes for 2 spades. So a lot of good thinking here. Now, we'll talk about the options. 1 spade, 2 spades, and 2 no trumps. 2 diamonds is not a good idea. First of all, we don't really want to rebid 5 card suits. We want to have 6 when we rebid them ideally. And second, that just shows a minimum. 1 spade and 2 spades. We'll talk about them last. 2 no trumps. I don't actually mind 2 no trumps. However, bidding spades here is going to be pretty nice. So I would only really go 2 no trumps if it would be inconvenient to bid another suit, or if I had lots of points in the doubletons. With only a small doubleton club, I'm not doing that. So what is the difference here between 1 spade and 2 spades? 1 spade says here 12 to 18 total points. So this is less than a game force. And the way I generally recommend this is you do it with 17 or fewer high card points. And 2 spades is reserved for, as we can see, 18 to 21 high card points. So this is a game force. Now with this hand, we have 18 points and our partners responded. We want to go to game, okay? This is a good 18, we want to go to game. 2 spades immediately says we are going to game and we don't have to worry about that. 1 spade, partner may pass, but even if they don't pass, we're still going to come into a lot of trouble in the future getting our strength off our chest. 2 spades immediately gets our strength and our shape off our chest. 2 spades does not show any extra spades or anything, but it just shows a hand that is willing to go to game with at least 4 spades and 5 diamonds. So congratulations to Chris, who said 2 spades. The rest of you who said 1 spade, hey, you've learned something new. And partners bid 4 spades. Now, here, I'll just briefly mention 4 spades is weaker than 3 spades. Because we've already forced partner to game, we cannot pass 3 spades. If they bid 3 spades, they're interested in something more. 4 spades, they are not. Now, Counting our losers. From which hand do we want to count our losers? This is actually an interesting one, more interesting decision than it looks. So for now, I just want to hear from which hand you want to count your losers. So Patricia, Julie, Pauline say south, Chris says north, Andrew south again. And I will say, once again, Chris is on the money. And it is north. Now, this is kind of unintuitive because, okay, so Linda asked a very good question. I'm used to using both hands, so not sure why we only want to use one. And this is because we only count losers from the perspective of one hand, because once we've dealt with that hand's losers, we won't lose the tricks in the other one, right? If we look at South's perspective and we say there's a club and 2 diamonds and a heart to lose, then we don't have to worry about North's other hearts or their club. We only have to worry about South's ones, right? Whereas North, if we count their losers, we have 2 clubs and we need to deal with those. So that's why we only count from one hand, because that's going to be the hand we use as a perspective, the one that will be relevant, right? And why do we want to count from north instead of south? Well, because it's not about which is the better suit, because ace, king, queen is clearly a better suit. However, using North's hand as the perspective, I think, is quite a bit easier because their heart suit is easier to set up. Right? Their heart suit, we lose one trick and then it's set up. And then all we have to do is worry about their minor suits. Whereas the South hand, we have to worry about the club and roughing some diamonds or maybe discarding them on hearts. So, and we know we're going to have to set up the heart anyway. So using North as a perspective is actually easier because we can just throw 2 of their clubs away on diamonds and all we have to do is worry about setting up the hearts and not worry about roughing any of South's losers. So using North as a perspective here allows us to see, we set up the heart suit. Whereas if we use South as a perspective here, we may err and decide to rough the losers instead of discarding on the hearts. And it also makes it obvious that we don't have to lose any club tricks by discarding Norths. They've led a spade, we win. Now, do we want to continue drawing trumps or do we need to set up a suit first? What do we think? So set up suit, diamonds. All right. So this is a pretty tough one because we know that we want to set up the hearts at some point. But can you see a reason to do that before drawing trumps? If we play trumps and they split 3-2, even if they now play a club, we then throw the clubs away on the diamonds. We still have a trump left to get back to North's hand to enjoy the hearts. But hang on, maybe they can force North to rough. And then we can't get to North to enjoy those hearts. Right? That's a slight problem. So imagine the play goes like this. We play Queen of Spades. See, they split 3-2 even. We then play, they win. They play a club. We play one more spade, and then we play 3 rounds of diamonds, getting rid of North's club. Now we play King of Hearts, and that loses. Then they play a club and remove North's fourth and final trump. Now, when we play the 10 of Hearts, we won't have a way to get back over to North. Okay, let's compare if instead we played the hearts immediately. So we play a heart, they win, they knock out our ace of clubs. We then play 3 rounds of diamonds, getting rid of the 2 clubs as before. Then we play another spade, and they win. Now they knock out North's trump, and again we have the same problem. North has no more trumps and no other ways to get back there without overtaking the 10 of Hearts, which then relies on them being 3-3. This is very nuanced, right? So what do we want to do on that basis? Maybe we want to re-examine South hand being the master hand. North's hand is the generally better one, but here we can see some problems with entries if we use North's hand as the master hand. So what if we have South's hand as the master hand? Well, we need to deal with 1 club loser and 2 diamond losers. We can throw away the clubs and use a trump for that. And we can use some more trumps for the diamonds as well. But that runs into a problem of diamonds being overruffed. And it also runs into problems of running out of trumps and the opponents drawing trumps on us. So those are all going to be too big of problems that I think we stick with North. And I can't see a way to avoid needing to overtake the 10 of Hearts. So I think we're just going to have to do that and hope that they're 3-3. And when in doubt, might as well play trumps first. When hearts for trumps neither looks any better, we play trumps first. And they played a club, as we expected. And now we play the trump and 3 rounds of diamonds. And here we want to knock out the heart. Now you may say, why don't we play the 10 of Hearts? They're more likely to duck that. The problem with playing the 10 of Hearts is if they do win, now we don't even get 2 heart tricks. We only get the 1. So now we trump this, play a heart, play a heart. And it's always worth, just in case here, you know the diamond isn't good, play the heart, just throw the diamond. Maybe you've miscounted hearts. You haven't. And we get the last spade. So making 4. Very, very tricky hand, though. Very tricky. Whew. Another doozy. 17 count. What do we want to do here? One club, very good. Now, some people might consider 1 no trump, but it's actually 5 is strong for that. 1 spade, now what? What do we want to do? Linda, 2 clubs. Patricia, Andrew, 2 hearts. Pauline, 2 hearts. So yeah, to bid 2 clubs here, we would be showing a minimum hand with 6 clubs. So between 12 and 15 points in 6 clubs, we don't have that. So we will bid 2 hearts. And as some of you pointed out, that is a reverse. That's showing it's not a game forcing bid, but it's showing at least 16 points, which we have 17, so we're happy to do that. And 5 clubs and 4 hearts. And that's forcing our partner to bid. They cannot pass this bid. And it's a reverse because it's higher than the clubs. When our second bid is higher than our first bid, and it's at the 2 level, it's a reverse. Linda has a good question. Hasn't partner denied 4 hearts? If they have 4 spades exactly, they do not have 4 hearts. However, they may have 5 spades and 4 hearts. And also, even if partner had denied 4 hearts, which they haven't quite, we still want to tell them about our shape and force the bidding, right? There's no other bid that better describes the shape of our hand and our points than 2 hearts. Partners bid 3 clubs, which they play a system called blackout. I'm not going to go too much into that, but basically 2 no trumps by them would show any weak hand. So 3 clubs is not only showing a fit for clubs, 3 cards, but also forcing to game. Now I can bid here. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have given the show away. You might have seen that already. We will bid 3 spades. I should have asked you first. But we want to bid 3 spades because we haven't shown partner 3 yet. And they may well have 5 spades. They haven't denied 5 spades. They're not going to bid 2 spades every time they've got 5, right? So we just show the rest of our shape, bid 3 spades, see what our partner wants to do. This also highlights that we have only 1 diamond. Partners bid 4 clubs. Now here, 4 clubs doesn't say anything in particular in the description, but the way that I would probably take this is they don't have a diamond stopper. We've said we've got a singleton diamond. They don't have a diamond stopper. And they've still got clubs and they don't know what to do. Now, whether you pass this or not is quite dependent on partnership agreement. I wouldn't want to pass this unless I've discussed with partner that we can pass 4 of a minor. For most people, you shouldn't be passing partner in 4 of a minor suit. It should be forcing. So we'll bid 5 clubs here. But it is entirely possible that the robots actually play that can be passed, which I have a feeling because this said forcing to 3 no trumps rather than forcing to game. But we'll bid 5 clubs. It's good practice. Good principle. Now here, we have a clear hand to count losers from. We have 1 spade loser. We have 2 heart losers, right? And we have 1 club loser, maybe 2. Now, why do we have 2 heart losers and not only 1? The ace wins. Queen loses to the king. Jack wins. Then the final one, the 5, loses to whatever higher card. So that's why it's 2 losers. If we play it from the top, we would lose 2 tricks. The clubs, I think we kind of just need them to break well to be only 1 loser. So how do we want to play this hand here? Do we want to draw trumps first? Do we want to set up some suits? Do we want to do some roughing? What do we want to do? Any thoughts? Patricia says to set up hearts. And also says to set up hearts. Brian, yes, set up hearts. Andrew, hearts first so we can rough. Yep, that's all correct. We do want to play hearts first. And the reason why, as Andrew pointed out, is so we can rough. Because if we finesse the hearts and the king is in east, we can rough a couple hearts and may lose none, right? And because we want to finesse the hearts, so start by running the queen or playing low to the jack, we want to win the first trick in the north hand. So we can do that. Win with the king. And then play the queen of hearts. There's the king. Now we play the jack. And then rough this one. Now we want to rough with the 3s because we probably want to rough the next one higher. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to rough this one high and have to rough the next one low. And here, which is the safest suit to get back to the south hand? Because we want to rough another heart, but we want to do that in the safest way possible. Chris says diamonds. Sleepy Sean says diamonds. Everyone's saying diamond. Julie, Paul, and Brian, Andrew. Everyone diamonds. Very good. Now, the reason the diamonds is the safest is because we had more spades and we've already played a spade. So it's more likely that someone can trump a spade than they can trump a diamond. And if we're counting the hearts, there's still one out. I'm not sure how much to go into the counting. Like, I'm assuming that you're all familiar with, okay, we had 4 and 2, that's 6, there's 7 out. We've seen 6 from the opposition, so there's still 1 left. Not sure how familiar you all are with that. Let me know if you think that I should be going over that, but I haven't so much so far. Now, we know that East can likely over-rough us here. They're out of hearts, but we're just going to hope that they're roughing with a natural trump trick. It's the jack. And another club. Whoa! Okay. So East has played a club and West is showing out. So East started with 5 clubs. That's pretty harsh. Thought we might have been making here. Now, what does that give them left? They've roughed 1 and played back 1. So they have 3 left, right? And what I usually like to do, situations like this, is shorten my own trumps, because then maybe we'll be in a position where East only has trumps left to lead out, and we can get an extra trick that way. Our other option is to play spades, and playing the spades and then just saying, okay, we're going to lose a trump, and a spade, there's nothing we can do about that because they've got 3 left. How will that work? We play a spade to the ace and play ace of clubs and lose a club. Now we have 2 trumps left and they have 1. They make us rough, then we take out their trump. But then our last spade isn't good anyway. So there's not much point in doing that, but we might as well. Because roughing a diamond, there's no trump kill in the hand or anything. And this is actually not bad, right? They roughed in front of us, which means this 9 of spades was going to lose. By playing towards our hand, we meant that they roughed the 9 instead of the ace. And we have the spade and the club left. Very good. So we're down 1, but we played it the best that we could, and we're unlucky that the trumps were 5-0. Only down 1 when the trumps are 5-0. I'll take that. Partner's opened a diamond here, and we have the option of 1 spade or 2 clubs. What do we think about this one? And this will probably be, this will be the last hand of the day, so we won't get to see the end. And we got 18%, probably because other people passed 3 clubs, which they cannot do. 3 clubs is forcing us to game. And passing 4 clubs is a little bit more reasonable. But partner could have a better hand there, and they could break better. So we have a lot of votes for 2 clubs, which is good. I'm happy to see votes for 2 clubs. And also 1 for 1 spade. Now, 1 spade is a very reasonable option, and we do want to be bidding 1 spade if we're slightly weaker than this. The way I recommend it, when you have a major and longer minor and partner opens, is that we bid the major unless we have enough to force to game. Here we have enough to force to game, so we're happy bidding 2 clubs. But if we were slightly less strong, we want to bid the major first. The reason why we bid 2 clubs before the major is if we bid 1 spade, it's quite hard to show 5 clubs later. If we bid the clubs first, it's very possible to show the 4 card spades later. Just bidding them once shows 4. And the robots play that this is 2/1 game forcing. So this will show 13 plus points and force partner to game. Their 2 no trumps bid does not. Okay. Does or does not. Let's see. So what do we want to do here over 2 no trumps? I was about to answer, but no. I want to ask you all, what do we want to do over 2 no trumps and why? What do we think the right bid here is? How strong is 2 no trumps? Good question. This is showing a weak no trump type of hand, 11 to 14 points. Because their 1 no trump opening is 15 to 17, the lowest no trump rebid is weaker. Andrew has a good question. Does 2 no trumps deny 4 spades? What do you all think? Does 2 no trumps deny 4 spades? Pauline seems to think that it doesn't, bidding 3 spades. But that's a very good question from Andrew, narrowing down the point of the hand, which is, can we still have a spade fit or not? Does anyone know if 2 no trumps here can still have 4 spades, or does it not? Now, here, if partner bid 2 spades, right, 1 diamond, then 2 spades, that would be showing an unbalanced hand. That would be showing 5 diamonds and 4 spades. 2 no trumps just says they're a balanced hand. They could well still have 4 spades or 4 hearts. So people are correct. They could have spades. It's just a limit bid. We want to bid 3 spades. Just tell them our spades and see if we have a fit. Partners bid 3 no trumps. All right. They don't have spades. We don't have enough for slam, only 15 opposite 11 to 14, so we can pass. Partners led a diamond. The opponents have led a diamond. Oh God, partner only has the ace fourth of diamonds. In these situations, do not panic. Think rationally, right? We want to avoid losing too many diamond tricks. And no trumps, we want to count our winners. How many of those do we have? We have a diamond, 2 clubs, a heart, and 3 spades. We're up to 7. If the spades break 3-3, we have 8. We're still short on our 9th. Bajir says that it would be another funny name for the class. Don't panic. Yep, and that's true. There have been some crazy things that have happened like that. 5-0 break, all these things. We don't want to panic. We just want to think about what's going on. So here, what do we want to do on the hand? It looks like we can't really set up any tricks beyond the spade and 1 heart without losing any. If we want to set up more than 1 heart, we have to lose some, even if the finesse is working. And in the club suit, if we want any more beyond the ace king, then we're going to have to lose some. So what do we want to do? Well, does anyone have any ideas? Duck, start by ducking diamonds, duck. Very good. Yeah, people are keen on ducking. That's great that you've learnt that. And how many times do we want to duck? Do we want to duck twice? Do we want to duck as many times as we can? 3 times? How many? Sorry, there was a bug. Everyone's saying 2, and that's excellent, and that's great to see. Quack, quack. If you're not sure how many times to duck, you can use the rule of 7. Just subtract your number of cards from 7. So with 5 cards here, we duck twice. And yeah, we don't want to duck 3 times because if they're 4-4, they won't have any left anyway. But we duck twice, hoping that someone has 3. And what? Oh, they've switched to a heart. Christmas is coming up. This is something the robots do that humans would never do. So I don't really put much stock into this. The robots just love switching when you duck. Do not duck expecting humans to switch like robots. And yeah, I mean, clearly here we want to play low. We set up heaps of heart tricks by playing low. So now all our hearts are good, and they're back on the diamonds. So now reevaluate. How many tricks do we have? We have a diamond, 2 clubs, 3 hearts, and 3 spades is 10. So whatever we do, we don't want to duck another diamond because that just eliminates any chances at an extra trick. That's 9, sorry, 9. This is 9, not 10. But yeah, we want to. We don't want to duck again because basically, if the spades are splitting, then we're going to have 10 tricks, and we may be able to even find an 11th somewhere if things go well. And when we have enough tricks and we may be able to get the rest, it's not a good idea to duck. So that's a good advice for match points. If we may be able to get the rest, we do not want to duck. And we'll pitch a club here because we won't need all of those. The robots have been thinking for a long time today. I don't think my connection is the best. And we'll play some spades first. See what's happening there. Get into the clubs. Start running some hearts. There's the 10 of spades. That's very good. Great to see. I don't think they'll be so kind as to discard the queen of clubs, but you never know. No, they didn't discard the queen of clubs. So we got 10. And ducking there would have doomed us to only 10, whereas by winning, we got a chance at the opponents making a mistake by discarding. Now, yeah, that is the final hand of today. We've been just over an hour. I hope you all have enjoyed it. And if you want to send in some hands that I can analyze next week at the start or end of the session, send them to Hello LBO and we can look at them there. Now, in the set of hands, I may have done some things slightly differently, but I wanted to showcase what just simple bridge thinking on most of them is able to do. This one got unlucky with the 5-0 club split. This one, I'm not sure what other tables did. They probably took a bid, like a double, which caused the opponents to do something different. Once we pass through out and there's a spade lead, we cannot do any better. And the rest of the boards are okay. So I hope that people learned some things. If you have any more questions, I can answer them for a bit. And then after that, I'll head off and see you all next week. Hope to see you then. Same time. It was great to see all of you participating in the discussion. And you had some... I was very impressed with a lot of the thoughts that you all had. Maggie has a good question. In the last hand, thought the 2 no trumps bid by opener showed a strong hand. Rebidding no trumps at the lowest level shows the minimum point range for no trumps. So here playing standard, because the 1 no trump is 15-17, the minimum no trump range by opener is 12 to 14. So the 2 no trump rebid shows that. If you're playing ACOL, the 2 no trumps rebid would show, again, your minimum values, which is 15 to 17, because your 1 no trump is 12 to 14. And you'd have to rebid 3 no trumps as a jump to show 18-19. That's a very good question. Now, it's nearly midnight here. Yes, Maggie was thinking ACOL. That's very good. Yeah, it's nearly midnight here. I am continuing playing the New Zealand National Bridge Championships tomorrow morning, so I had better get off to bed. Thank you all. It's lovely having you here. Cheers.